Hey there, Spectre Divide fans. Welcome back to another video where we're diving into the hottest new tactical shooter on the block. Now, if you're like me, you've probably been loving that unique two-player control mechanic that Spectre Divide brings to the table. But let's be real, while mastering this dual playstyle is key, having the right weapon in your hands is what's going to make or break your game. And trust me, with all the weapons available, choosing the right one can feel like finding a needle in a haystack. So today, we're cutting through the confusion with a juicy weapon tier list, ranking them from the absolute game changers to the ones you might want to leave at the base. Whether you're a sneaky sniper or a close quarters brawler, we've got you covered, ready to find out which weapons you should grab and which ones to avoid. Let's jump right in and get started. I'm quickly moving on to the video and I'm ranking weapons in Spectre Divide. Before we start, if you enjoy these types of tier list videos, don't forget to like the video and subscribe. Enjoy watching.
My friends, only 0.1% of viewers subscribe. If you like this type of content, please do not forget to subscribe to the channel. Thank you in advance for your support.
The weapons in this tier are, in order from top left to bottom right, Duster, Brat, and Fury. Alright, let's talk about some of the absolute worst weapons in Spectre Divide. You know, the ones that make you question why you even picked them up in the first place. Starting with the Duster. Oh boy, where do I begin? This weapon feels like trying to wield a wet noodle. The animation? It's like they hired a mime to design it. And the damage at range? Forget about it. When you aim down the sights, the ADS dot just vanishes into thin air, like a magician's trick you never wanted to see. Honestly, you're better off throwing rocks at your enemies, at least that way you won't be as frustrated. Now, let's not forget about the Brat. If there were a competition for the worst recoil control, this thing would win by a landslide. You'll blow through all your ammo in seconds, and for what? Some pitiful damage that couldn't even tickle an enemy. And don't even think about hip firing. It's like trying to shoot with a pogo stick. Wild, chaotic, and absolutely useless. And last but not least, we have the Fury. Oh, the Fury. It's like wielding a cannon that's determined to make you hate your life. Sure, it has high penetration, but you'll be 6 feet under before you even get a shot off. Save yourself the headache and just avoid these weapons altogether, trust me. The weapons in this tier are, in order from top left to bottom right, Knife and Scorpion. Alright, let's dive into some of the C tier weapons in Spectre Divide. You know, the ones that might make you scratch your head and go, why am I using this? First up, we've got the Knife. Now, don't get me wrong, this little guy can one-shot players up close, which sounds great on paper, right? But here's the catch, it's got about as much range as a goldfish out of water when you're trying to backstab someone. 1 minute you think you got the perfect sneak attack lined up, and the next you're flailing in the air like you're waving for a taxi. It's a bit of a hit or miss, literally. But hey, at least it looks cool while you're doing it. Then there's the Scorpion, the tier 1 SMG that's, well, pretty much what you'd expect. It's like that friend who always shows up to the party but never brings anything interesting. Sure, it gets the job done, but don't expect any fireworks. It's not going to win you any medals for top tier gameplay, but if you're just looking to spray some bullets around and have a bit of fun, it's serviceable. Just don't rely on it too much if you're planning to actually win the game. The weapons in this tier are, in order from top left to bottom right, Berserker, Carbon, and Drummer. Alright, let's talk about some of the B tier weapons in Spectre Divide. First up, we have the Berserker. Now, don't get too excited, it's not as fierce as the name suggests, but hey, if you like spamming bullets, this one's got a 100 round drum that'll let you go nuts. Just keep in mind, it's more about quantity than quality here. The damage is pretty meh, and it's outclassed by most other rifles, but if you're looking for something to spray and pray with, the Berserker might just be your new best friend, or at least a decent acquaintance. Next, we've got the Carbon. This little guy's a pistol you get right from the start, and it actually isn't half bad. Sure, it's got a bit of vertical recoil that might make you roll your eyes, but come on, it's a first rounder. For what it is, the Carbon gets the job done, and that's all you can really ask for. And let's not forget the Drummer, the auto shotgun that's perfect for holding those tight corners. It's got a weird overheat mechanic that might throw you off at first, but once you master it, this baby can rack up some impressive kills. So, while these weapons might not be top tier material, they've definitely got their moments if you know how to play to their strengths. The weapons in this tier are, in order from top left to bottom right, Cyclone, Buzzsaw, Bouncer, Shiv, and Harper. Alright, let's dive into the A tier weapons in Spectre Divide. If you're looking to dominate the battlefield, these are the guns you definitely want in your arsenal. First up, the Cyclone. Now, this tier 3 rifle might throw you off at first with its weird spray pattern, but trust me, it's worth the learning curve. Give it some time, put in a bit of practice, and soon you'll be lasering down enemies like a pro. Once you've got that spray under control, the Cyclone turns into a lethal weapon that can shred through opponents. It's all about mastering the rhythm, and once you do, it's game over for your enemies. Now, let's talk about the Buzzsaw. This SMG is like the Energizer Bunny of guns. It just keeps going and going with 40 bullets in its mag. You can go full Rambo, running and gunning without a care in the world about reloading. Just be warned, that recoil can get a little wild, so you'll need to rein it in a bit, but once you've got the hang of it, it's a fantastic choice for aggressive plays, especially if you love getting up close and personal. If you're more into getting guaranteed kills, the Bouncer shotgun is where it's at. This beast is a nightmare in tight spots and choke points, practically guaranteeing you a kill with every shot. Plus, it's perfect for those eco rounds when you're low on cash. It's cheap, effective, and incredibly satisfying when you hear that blast go off and see an enemy drop. And don't even get me started on the Shiv. This pistol is an absolute monster. 100 damage headshots, folks. A simple body head 2-shot combo and boom, enemy down. It's so satisfying to use, especially in eco rounds. Speaking of eco, let's not forget the Harpu. This thing comes with a double zoom scope and can take down enemies with a single headshot. It's insanely powerful for its price, and it feels amazing to pop heads with it. So there you have it, the A-tier weapons in Spectre Divide. Master dieses i zuerst nach Speinesilo, and you'll be running the show in no time. The weapons in this tier are, in order from top left to bottom right: Reaver, Crusader, Blackout, Trident, Whisper, Prototype OP, and Tempest. Alright, let's dive into the S-tier weapons in Spectre Divide, because if you're not using these guns, you're definitely missing out on the best of the best. First up, let's talk about the Reaver. This gun is dominating the current meta for a reason. The spray pattern is incredibly predictable, so you can nail headshots with ease. Even if you whiff your first shot, you can quickly adjust and line up another headshot in no time. Trust me, you'll be shredding through enemies like it's nothing with this thing in your hands. Then, there's the Crusader. Now, this bad boy is the true jack of all trades in the game. It's perfect for any situation you find yourself in. Up close, you can one-shot enemies without breaking a sweat. Plus, it has a high fire rate, so you can hip fire or burst fire your way out of tricky situations. It's just so versatile, no wonder it's considered one of the best rifles in Spectre Divide. You just gotta have it in your arsenal. Oh, and don't sleep on the Blackout. This sneaky little weapon has no tracers, which means you can spam it through smokes without giving away your position. It's also great for run and gun situations, and you can easily hip fire with it. I mean, talk about a multi-purpose weapon. It's perfect for those aggressive plays when you just want to rush in and catch the enemy off guard. Now, for the burst lovers out there, we've got the Trident. Okay, hear me out, I know burst guns can be hit or miss, but this one is a laser beam. It's got a double zoom feature, making headshots even easier to land. Plus, it does some solid damage to the body and has an incredible fire rate. It's honestly a must-have if you're looking to stay accurate while dishing out a lot of damage. And if you're a fan of spray and pray, then look no further than the Whisper. This gun is an absolute headshot machine. You can hip fire, run and gun, or even take shots from a distance without much trouble. Plus, it's a great way to earn cash for the Prototype OP Sniper in the later rounds, which, speaking of, let's not forget the Prototype OP. It's basically the AWP of Spectre Divide, but dare I say, even better. It's super easy to snipe with in this game, so if you fancy yourself a sharpshooter, you're going to want to make it your goal to grab this bad boy every chance you get. And hey, for those who love tap shooting weapons, the Tempest is where it's at. Easy hip fire control means you can tap headshots all day, every day. It does drop off a bit if you're aiming for the body, but if you got the skills, you won't even notice. So, there you have it. The S-tier weapons in Spectre Divide are the ones you should absolutely be aiming for if you want to dominate the battlefield. Get out there, load up, and start wrecking some enemies. The video ends here. See you in another video. Don't forget to subscribe.